let's do another watch list. We'll do a bit of a trade review as well, going into Friday, August 9th. Start off here with Sava. Had this one on a sort of multi-day back burner watch, looking for this 26 level, same kind of idea as Serve. And it kind of, it triggered it, so the move kind of came and went that I was looking for. Off the open, just straight down. So now that trigger level, so to speak, isn't that trade isn't there anymore. So not really a plan on that one going forward at this point. LUMN was my trade of the day. If you go back and watch the video from last night, yesterday, the watch list for August 8th, from Wednesday, August 7th. And I was basically using this 6 and 640 line from the prior day, using like a multi-day big picture first red day, but using a consolidation breakdown setup. So what we got here off the open was a little pop. I never know how high this pop's going to go, so I like to put some on and then wait for the opening range to be set. So I got this push off the opening minute. I shorted some here into the 640s as it was under that key level. And then I had a wide risk idea on this starter. Was going to be risking over 7s. And then once it had topped out, broke its opening range lows, failed to follow through, rebroke under 640s, key level on the multi-daily or the intradaily multi-day chart, broke down below morning lows and failed off of a red to green move. So 3 factors there. Scale in, add one more time. This one here I moved my risk down. This one here I got a bit bigger than 1R. Was looking for that 6 flush, maybe a plunge down to 580s and then get this pop back into 6. And these wicks started coming in, so I sized down, rescaled up, and now we got this fail below 580s. And this little slow grind here, I had my finger on the trigger to start adding in some more size. I contemplated moving risk down to 620s and look for a 6 over under fail. But given that 640s was the key level where a lot of the volume was being tossed back and forth, I wanted to give it some room to push back through 620s. So I decided to keep my size under control, keep my risk wider, and play the patience trade for me. And then I basically was trading that off the 1 minute, and I started zooming out to try and figure out where to cover. So I looked left, and we had this little 520s, 530s prior top, which would have been the gap fill. So that was my target in mind. And then I looked a little bit further on a 5-minute chart and noticed all day the 5-minute candles all morning was lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So I was patient and thinking I could use the prior 5-minute high as like a trailing stop, which would have stopped you out right here, right through 512. So you would have been covering nicely. But given that I was trying to get off desk today around 10:30, I was just covering into weakness. We got this little dip and rip candle on increased volume that got me out the last third of my position, and this one I was just covering along the way. I alerted all this live over in Investors Underground, so you can see my commentary over there, but I think this is a great big picture, up from 250s to 8. And then you get that combined with a consolidation breakdown, red to green fail, and opening range lows. So I think that's a good one to review. Plan on this one would be higher the better. I'd expect volume to start to trickle off, kind of like Zap did, where it went nuts. You have this pullback red day, and then it just starts fizzling off. You had, what was the other one recently? The other big multi-day runner. Sava kind of did it. It's in this backside. It was Surf. That's what it was. Where you get this big parabolic speed up, and then you get this lower high, and it likely just volume fades off and price trickles off. So I'd be looking for volume to tell the story here on LUMN. If this thing were to flush out fast enough down to like this 4 area, I'd be looking for a backside bounce back into the 6 range, and then be looking for that backside rollover. So, if this thing gaps down big enough, I'd be looking for lower the better first green day bounce. And if I can get shoves back into the 6 area, then I'd be looking for some failed follow through. I think a lot of people were kind of afraid of it. This wasn't really on many people's... It was on a lot of people's watch list because it was the main mover recently, but there was quite a few people that were kind of afraid to short it just given how thin it was, even though it's got a huge market cap. Anyways, Indo, this is exactly why I don't like playing breakouts with overhead resistance nearby. You got this move. This isn't even a failed breakout to me. This is just what should happen. You're just running into bag holders, prior resistance. So this should fail, and that just proves my process correct. And then apps I'm just going to throw on just because there's no overhead volume really. Like you got this little one, but not much range on the daily chart. So this is the first daily candle that actually had some price reaction to it. So I'm going to wait for a daily structure to set up on this one now that it's had its first move, and see where it wants to go from there. So main watch is really just LUMN. Not a whole bunch else that I have on watch. I hope that review helped, and we can look for more opportunities like that in the future. Likely a slow day for me tomorrow. And I will see you guys in the room.